Good Friday evening. We're looking at the severe weather risk that's going to continue to tick up in some areas through the overnight as these storms, these supercells really continue to build and push to the east, and I think they're going to become more linear in fashion as we head through the overnight. Kind of a different view here of the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. Again, we're at a 4 out of 5 risk here on a scale of 1 to 5. It's a moderate risk. It does include Evansville up to Bloomington, and then back to St. Louis. A lot of these storms moving through the early evening hours, and then as we head through the evening, we're looking towards Evansville, down toward Bowling Green, into Clarksville, Tennessee. So these storms are going to continue through the overnight and as far east as Lexington. And then we've already seen storms across eastern Kentucky into parts of southwest Virginia, southern West Virginia. There's another round of storms coming later tonight. So one after another. We've seen quite a few storms, too, across parts of Virginia as well. Now, the risk is high across parts of southern Indiana, southern Illinois, but certainly not zero the further north you go. Across northern Indiana, up towards South Bend. A few thunderstorms possible here, and some of those could be on the strong side. We'll look at the severe weather outlook, not just for today and tomorrow, but we're also going to look at the future radar in just a moment. The highest risk for tornadoes clearly in these areas where we're seeing the highest wind shear that will continue through the evening hours across Kentucky, Missouri, southern Indiana, and Illinois, into Tennessee tonight, with that low-level jet increasing, the upper-level winds swinging through too. So all the things coming together for a strong thunderstorm event, supercells, and damaging winds too. That's what this outlook is showing. Definitely hatched out here. So anywhere in Tennessee, there's a risk for strong thunderstorms through the overnight, but with the best chance, I think, north and west of Nashville up along the Kentucky border. Still not a zero threat the further east you go from Nashville east on 40 to Knoxville, all the way up into northeast Tennessee. And look, damaging winds possible, again, with more storms moving into the mountains tonight. Tomorrow, more of a risk across southern parts of the U.S. As our front drapes to the south, we're looking into Texas, Oklahoma, also into Arkansas, and our front pushes to the east coast too, so from New York down into the Carolinas. That's unchanged. And we're looking at another round of severe weather on Sunday. And this could be a multi-day event, not just Sunday, but there could be more severe weather on Monday and Tuesday. So things are just kind of getting ramped up. Let's look at what you're here for. That's the future radar. We'll kind of take that hour by hour. Once we move through the evening hours, we'll see these storms really continue to move out of Missouri. Some of them could get strong with that tornado watch that we're seeing down into parts of Arkansas and also into southern parts of Missouri. Take a look at this. These are the current tornado watches that we're looking at here. The newest one that came out does include a good chunk of Illinois and Indiana down into parts of Kentucky. This watch back to the west, that expires, I do believe, at 7 Central tonight. Let's go in a little bit closer and we'll look at these watches on an individual basis. This is the newest one. This does include, again, southern parts of Illinois, all the way up to Indianapolis and as far west as Springfield, Illinois, and then all the way down into Kentucky, western Kentucky, down into Missouri too. This is in effect through 10 p.m. Central Time. We're going to go back. This is the watch that came out earlier, further to the east. This is the severe thunderstorm watch in effect for eastern Virginia. This is in effect through 11, also parts of North Carolina, southern parts of Maryland as well here out on the peninsula. And then further to the north, we also have a severe thunderstorm watch here until 10 tonight. That includes D.C., up all the way up into central Pennsylvania towards Harrisburg. It does include Baltimore, Washington, and a good chunk of northern Virginia. And here's that tornado watch that's in effect further to the south and west of that first one we looked at. That includes St. Louis. Big storms going right now. A lot of it now just to the east of St. Louis. We've been, I don't want to say we've been quiet, but relatively quiet on the southern end of this. But still, tornado watch all the way down to Fort Smith and then north up into Missouri from Arkansas. Those are the watches we're dealing with right now. Make sure you stay updated at weather.gov. Of course, the Storm Prediction Center. Let me go back and look and see. This is live, so if you're wondering, clearly looking here. I haven't looked at the latest mesoscale discussions. So anyway, yeah, make sure you stay weather aware through the overnight. Definitely a chance for these to be expanded through those nighttime hours. And the problem is once it gets dark, I just hate severe weather in the dark because these will continue to march to the east. A lot of instability too, even once we get past, the daylight time hours, 9, 10 o'clock. The time above me is Eastern time. So take an hour off for Central and this will continue to drop south. Once we get, to 10, 11 o'clock, everything now south of Illinois and Indiana, also south of a good chunk of western Kentucky moving through Tennessee. A little bit of a closer look here. This is the HRRR. We're zooming in on Missouri, also southern Indiana. So this is what things are looking like at 6 o'clock. Things are relatively close as far as the radar goes. By 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern, these storms will be moving into southern Illinois, moving through Indianapolis. I think they're really just to the west here. This would be about right now. So within the hour, they'll be moving towards Indianapolis and then pushing into southern Indiana and Illinois, strengthening here across Kentucky through the evening hours. So these storms are just really getting going. Some would say, is it a bust? This is just the beginning, guys. Okay. So if you're watching this right now, it's 5:08 Eastern. That's what time this is being recorded if you're on the playback. So make sure you, if you're catching this, you can, make sure you have a way to stay weather aware and you have the latest warnings wherever you are. All right, let's continue to push this future radar out on the HRRR in time. Now things moving south towards Bowling Green once we get towards 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. Down toward Memphis, eastern Arkansas, this squall line could be really intense. So not only are we dealing with the possibility of supercells, where these storms will rotate, discrete supercells. That's when they get off on their own. That's kind of the mode. That's the way things look here through the evening hours. And then they get very linear and you get those bowing segments. You could have some kinks in that line where they twist up and you get a few spin up thunderstorms that produce tornadoes, but damaging winds, large hail, winds could gust over 75. And early in the evening, there could be some long track tornadoes still. The Storm Prediction Center has been talking about that. Let's drop the map a little bit further to the south and east. We'll continue to push these storms out of Indiana into southern parts of Ohio, Cincinnati, up to Dayton. We'll see the storms moving through again once we move toward that 9, 10 o'clock hour. And we also look here into West Virginia, down into Kentucky. A couple of these storms, I think you keep an eye on them out ahead of your main line. There could be a few strong cells here as well. We've seen quite a few storms in West Virginia today, so another round moving through, and then back into Kentucky. Look at this. You can see how things are kind of bowing here. So we've got this squall line building, a lot of instability, even though we saw those storms move through earlier. But the good news is once we move past midnight, we are losing the heating of the day. Storms are trying to weaken as they move toward the central Appalachians, but these could pack a punch from Charleston up to Elkins, moving through Morgantown, and then into southern West Virginia, from Beckley to Bluefield, down to the Tri-Cities, even down to Knoxville. So this is a nasty-looking squall line that will be moving through during the night. Severe weather possible with this as well. And then I think things start to weaken some. But these storms, especially along the southern side, could hold some strength, dropping into Alabama, North Georgia, also Mississippi late tonight. And then clearly tomorrow, things looking much different across this area. Let's widen things out here and take a look at kind of everything again. I do want to tell you, we are going to see some stronger storms possible across Michigan tonight. Not nearly as strong as these storms to the south, but a few rumbles of thunder possible. A few could get on the strong side. And then as we head into tomorrow, this lifts up into Ontario. We've got their front dropping to the south as low pressure spins toward the Great Lakes. Ahead of this, there could be some severe weather again from parts of New York all the way down into the Carolinas. So again, watch this area heading into the day Saturday, especially into Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Here comes that twist in the atmosphere. You can see it spinning, so a lot of wind shear across parts of New York, into even parts of the Northeast, into Vermont and New Hampshire, and then across the South. A few strong storms possible. Can't be completely ruled out, but most of the strong severe weather will be across Texas, also Oklahoma, as we head into Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening as these storms start to blossom up. So another round of severe weather here as a disturbance swings through the southern plains. Some of these could linger into the evening hours into early Sunday morning, and I want to push this out ahead in time. This is going to move east. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the models pick up on this cluster of storms that form eventually. I mean, really, it looks like they're going to form back across Oklahoma. And look, check this out. I'm not saying we're having a derecho. You don't really know, right? I mean, that's not what we're seeing. But this could be a long-lived cluster of thunderstorms that pushes all the way into Tennessee eventually from Oklahoma. Still some time to go on that. That's what the NAM's picking up on. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there and see how things are shaping up. But what I'm more interested in and feel more confident in is this huge upper low across the Rockies. Now we're getting a lot of southerly flow out ahead of this. So we're opening the door heading into Sunday night to really get some big storms going across Oklahoma, Kansas, up into parts of Nebraska with another severe weather outbreak. And this pushes east. Check this out. More severe weather on the way. The Storm Prediction Center has been looking, if you look at the convective outlook for the day, well, I guess it's the extended outlook, day 4, day 5. I'm going to pull that up here. And there we go. So day 4, this would be heading into now Monday. I showed you Sunday, another shot of storms across Oklahoma. By Tuesday, these move east in the same areas where we're seeing severe weather right now. Missouri, southern Indiana, Southern Illinois, West Tennessee, West Kentucky, and these could be a little bit further to the south, towards East Texas, Texarkana, northern Louisiana, maybe even into Mississippi. So we've got quite an active weather pattern setting up for the next, honestly, couple of days. So if you're looking for a weather source, hope you'll consider subscribing here on YouTube. Thanks to all of you who have supported the channel. Let's talk about what's going on out west. Out here, it's a different story. That system that's going to be bringing that severe weather that I just showed you is going to be felt here first. It's going to bring some rain and snow. It could be heavy. Check that out. That's impressive looking on Sunday. Big snow flying from the Wasatch all the way up into the Sawtooth, north up into the northern Rockies. Big snow is going into the mountains, and then this pushes east. And as this energy pulls out into the plains, as we head now into Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday, things get pretty active. I'm going to really, I didn't really want to go that wide. Let's get a little bit closer here into North America. I do want to show you the overall pattern for the next week or so. This would be Monday. There's our low moving out into the plains. Cold, high pressure, relatively cold, sitting up here just south of the Hudson Bay. That's trying to push down into the Great Lakes into the northeast. It will bring some drier conditions here, but out ahead of our low that's starting to form on the lee side of the Rockies, it really starts to ramp up. And out ahead of this, I think this is why you're going to get that severe weather heading into Monday and then into Tuesday as this low moves north towards the Great Lakes. We start to lose high pressure around the Great Lakes. Rain chances going up here. Rain chances also increasing from the mid-Atlantic back into the Ohio Valley. Across the west, we're starting to dry out some. As this system moves east, we do start to see some ridging building in the upper level, so that means drier conditions, and then that low moves off the east coast as we move toward the weekend. And then we start to see some drying conditions. Behind this, though, check this out. Some cooler conditions. Temperatures on the way down for the East Coast as we head into Wednesday and Thursday behind this low across the west. Bit of a ridge building. So this tells you with this type of setup, a little bit warmer here as this ridge pumps up to the north, and a little bit drier too as well. Maybe some rain across the far Pacific Northwest. And check this out. I'll leave you with this, and you can do what you will with it. The GFS from this afternoon is trying to dump some heavy snow into the northeast heading into now. This would be 1 week from today on Friday. I don't know. But impressive looking anyway. Maybe some eye candy. But how about that? A big area of low pressure trying to wrap up just off the east coast with some heavy snow into the interior areas of the northeast next weekend. What a wild May it's been. And I think there's more wild weather to come. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I see all of you in the chat. I appreciate you all coming by, joining the live stream. If you're just coming by and you're wondering what's going on, you can back it up, take it from the beginning. If you miss any of the live streams, you can always come back and check them out. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate it. If you're new and you've never been on the channel before, thanks for coming over. I'm Travis. I used to be a chief meteorologist. That's my background many, many years ago, but I've been out of that business. So again, if you're looking for a source here on YouTube, come on back, and hope you'll join the community below. I love seeing you guys in the chat. I love seeing your comments, and I appreciate you all being part of this community. See you guys.